Warframe in 2026. 10 years of content you want to experience. Good for you. But it is still 10 years of content. Where do you even begin? I mean, there's so many title updates. All of which are still in the game, in one way or another. So, before we tackle some of that stuff, let's begin with the most important thing. Get you a frame. You already chose one? Perfect. Otherwise, here are your options. First, we have Bolt. It is used for fast runs in some mission types. He is good for capturing specific targets and extracting from the mission, basically completing the objective fast. Then we have Mag. She is for crowd control, but with the number of new warframes that can crowd control nowadays, this would be your last option. And my recommendation, Excalibur. He is your all-rounder, a bit of crowd control, a bit of damage, basically a pretty solid option. After you finish the first mission, concentrate on clearing the Borg's Prize quest. It is selected as primary by default, so just follow the steps to complete it. This is how many of the facilities in your ship, like the arsenal and the foundry, are unlocked. With that unlocked, we can now talk about a few things that you need to have clear from now on. Since the game is all about movement, start getting accustomed to the movement system. Standing still or just walking will get you killed pretty quickly, so try dodging and throw a few jumps in there when there is too many enemies. Your level, which is displayed on the top left next to your name, does not matter as much as the level of your weapons at the moment. Weapons, as in any other game, level up as you use them. Each max rank weapon and warframe will help you increase your level. The actual damage of your weapons and frame are directly related to your mods. Thankfully, there is a new quest that helps you learn about mods, so do pay attention because this quest explains polarities and the fact that your mods have a cost. And the max capacity is determined by the level of the piece of gear that has it, be it a warframe, a weapon, or any other thing that can have a mod on. Another thing worth mentioning here is that all mods can be obtained in-game, either by finishing a mission, identifying an unidentified reward from any objective that you may complete inside of a mission, or vendors that have farmable currencies. The biggest tip for mods at the moment is focusing on one of the mods at the time is a good idea, since mods can be shared between weapons or warframes. So any mod that you use for duration in one warframe can be used in another warframe. After all, you can only use one warframe, one primary, one secondary, and one melee at all times. Basically, you're not gonna be using two serrations in one rifle. This one's a short one. For now, use the platinum you have to buy a warframe slot and some weapon slots. Do not buy any other slot for now, because you won't need them until later. The slots for weapons or warframes in your account are limited, but not impossible to obtain. For now, we're just getting some wiggle room to have some options. Almost all of the planets have a boss. This boss has a chance of dropping a blueprint on kill. It can be from a warframe or a weapon, so multiple runs of the same boss are recommended. If you're having trouble, play on public. Veterans love to help new players. Consequently, to our last idea, every weapon and Warframe can be farmed. That's why you have a foundry. It's your crafting table. In some cases, you will need a blueprint and some resources from a planet or planets. In other cases, you might need parts like a grip or a blade, neuroptics, systems, chassis. These can be just parts as is or parts that need crafting too. Creating a full weapon takes 24 hours, 36 if you have all the pieces and they need crafting too. A Warframe can take up to 4 days, so whenever you have something that needs crafting, be sure to put it to craft so you're not losing time while you are leveling other stuff. Alright, now you have leveled up some of your weapons, you might even have some mods on your weapons and or your Warframe. Now we need to get to a different planet on the start chart. To do that, you will need to get through a junction. These junctions open once the requirements are met. Keep an eye on them so you know what you are actually looking for. Once the requisites are completed, the junction opens and a fight is unlocked. Being the Warframe in the junction and activating it will allow you to travel to the next planet. The fights are not too difficult, but some of the junctions have powerful Warframes. If you're having trouble, maybe your mods aren't level enough. So they're basically skill checks to see if you can go to a higher level. A thing that people tend to forget about this game is it's more of a slow burn, like a grind, than an in and out 20-minute adventure type of thing, because you shouldn't focus on using one weapon or one Warframe because you have them modded. You need to play around, remember to level up other weapons to level 30 to help your account level increase. This account level, which is called Mastery, is tied up to the weapons you can use. If you cannot use a weapon, it's because your Mastery is too low. Some weapons have Mastery 5, Mastery 6, up to Mastery 16, which isn't that hard to get to, but it is a good idea to start from the beginning to amass some of the mastery quickly. The game will be repetitive at first, but please push through those first few hours. I guarantee that it will be worth it. Now that we have the basics, get to Saturn. This is where the story gets good, and do not rush it or you will be doing yourself a disservice. Since I don't want to spoil it for you, I will leave you with this. If you can't beat them now, don't be afraid to play with others. Gather better mods, look for weapons, master your frames, and fight on, Tenno.